Donald Trump and iShowSpeed. Both are often labeled as ESTP, but do they actually share the same cognitive wiring? Not even close, and I'll explain why. To the untrained eye, they might seem similar because they share certain traits like boldness, confidence, and cockiness. But when you look deeper, it's quite easy to see how different they really are. Donald Trump as an ESTP is one of the most repeated mistypes in the MBTI space, but it's fundamentally incorrect. On the surface, it might seem to fit. Trump is loud, brash, and commands attention. But these traits alone don't define a cognitive type. A closer look through the lens of cognitive typology and Vultology reveals a different reality. Trump is not SeTi, but TeNi. We already made a video explaining why, but to make it even clearer, this time I will compare him with iShowSpeed, who is widely recognized as ESTP and actually fits the SeTi type. So if you think Trump is an ESTP, this comparison should definitely change your mind. At first glance, it's easy to see why people mistype Trump for an ESTP. The stereotype portrays ESTPs as high energy, impulsive, and aggressive, traits that seem to match Trump's loud and dominant personality. But typing someone based on surface-level traits is a huge mistake. True cognitive type is revealed through deeper psychological processes and Vultology. And when we analyze Trump properly, it becomes very clear that he is certainly not an SeTi. Let's start by comparing Trump's and Speed's Vultologies. From the moment they move, the difference is extremely obvious. iShowSpeed is constantly moving, flailing his arms, swaying and toggling around. His presence is fluid, nonchalant, and unpredictable, displaying a lot of body awareness and grounding effect and embodying the raw, real-time engagement of an SE-dominant type, fully immersed in the moment. Trump, by contrast, is the opposite. His J stance is firm, planted, and immovable. He leans forward slyly, nodding or shaking his head with intent and reinforcing his points and authority through controlled, deliberate hand gestures. His movements aren't about exploring his surroundings or his thoughts. They impose structure, control, and regulation. This highlights the core difference between PE's boundless and exploratory energy and the J's calculated and commanding presence. And of course, Trump also has the TFI nasolabial tension, wobbling lips, and sassy movements, which are absent from Speed's Vultology, who on the other hand has a much more neutralized TIFE baseline with a lax nasolabial area, symmetrical lip movements, and zygomatic smiles. And it's not just their Vultology, their speech patterns, thought process, and behavior further reveal their cognitive differences. Trump's behavior and communication style align primarily with JE and more specifically TE. His entire worldview is based on cause and effect logic. If we don't fix the economy, we will fail. If we don't reduce immigration, we will suffer. If China does A, we will do B. If you vote for me, I will cut your taxes. His language is decisive and authoritative, leaving little to no room for open-ended discussion. Unlike a PE type who explores possibilities, Trump dictates outcomes, expecting compliance rather than engagement. A clear sign of Trump's TE dominance is his focus on mechanics and systems. Whether in business, politics, or governance, he approaches everything as a structured machine that needs to be optimized. His economic policies focus on hard numbers such as GDP, trade deficits, job reports, rather than abstract ideology. His political decisions are framed as transactions. We give too much, they take too much, we fix it. His real estate empire is built on pragmatic deal-making and maximizing profitability. Unlike an SE lead who would focus on exploration and sensory immersion, Trump prioritizes efficiency, productivity, and systemic control. He doesn't react fluidly to situations, he imposes structure on them. Trump's speech patterns further illustrate his TE-heavy cognition. He communicates efficiently, stacking numbers, facts, and cause-and-effect statements like a news reporter or a CEO giving a financial update rather than freestyling like an SE improviser. His tone is serious and direct, lacking the playful engagement or visceral energy of an SE lead. He repeats key phrases over and over to make sure his message is received, much like propaganda reinforces a political slogan. Make America great again, fake news, biggest tax cut ever. His speech is about control and authority, not exploration. Every statement is meant to assert authority rather than explore ideas. There's no meandering, no discovery, no adaptation in real time. His focus is on making his points clear as efficiently as possible. Now let's contrast this with Speed, who fully embodies PE and more specifically SE. His energy is raw and unfiltered. He doesn't follow structured arguments or stick to a script. Instead, he reacts instinctively, completely immersed in whatever is happening. Speed thrives on discovering new things, excitement, and change. He's always jumping into new games, making viral, entertaining content, and looking for fresh challenges just for the fun of it. Speed speaks in a rapid improvisational flow, shifting topics easily and reacting on impulse. His speech is classic PE, restless, unfiltered, and shaped by whatever's happening or going through his mind at the moment. He doesn't rely on structured speech or causal statements. He talks freely, letting his own impulses and outside reactions shape where the conversation is going. He doesn't dwell on past experiences. Instead, he embodies the refresh factor of PE, constantly moving forward, discarding the outdated, and looking for the next big thing. His content is explosive, unpredictable, and reaction-based, reflecting PE's insatiable curiosity and need for variety, as well as SE's need for stimulation. Speed's dominant SE takes his real-time engagement to another level. Unlike Trump, who analyzes and controls external systems, Speed dives headfirst into the experience without hesitation. He doesn't just observe, he physically throws himself into everything he does. His reactions are visceral, uninhibited, and often extreme, whether he's mocking, screaming, laughing, or jumping in excitement. His body language is loose, nonchalant, and constantly shifting, the opposite of Trump's rigid and controlled presence. For Speed, reality isn't really something to organize and regulate. It's something to amplify and experience at full volume. This raw, instinctive immersion is what separates SE's engagement with reality from TE's need for structure and control. Another major difference lies in their entrepreneurial strategies. Trump's business ventures are large-scale and highly systematic, focusing on real estate, branding, and long-term financial leverage. He prioritizes hierarchical management, structured investments, and institutional control. The fact that Trump has filed for bankruptcy multiple times doesn't really contradict this. TENIs aren't immune to business failure, but the way he restructured the debt, renegotiated deals, and rebuilt his brand still reflects a TE-driven approach to financial strategy. Speed, on the other hand, fits the SeTi entrepreneurial approach. Dynamic, high energy, and centered around real-time entertainment. His business model thrives on audience engagement and immediate gratification, with revenue streams tied to sponsorships, live stream donations, and ad revenue, rather than asset-based enterprises or long-term capital investments. Instead of building a corporate empire, Speed relies on his physical presence, charisma, and trend savviness to stay relevant, seizing viral opportunities in the fast-moving entertainment industry. To put everything into perspective, let's compare Trump to other well-known TeNi types, such as Benjamin Netanyahu and Javier Milei, both widely and correctly recognized as ENTJs in the MBTI community. They have the same mannerisms as Trump, using structured, authoritative speech and trying to shape reality with their vision rather than experience it directly. Netanyahu's controlled, commanding presence reflects strategic focus and geopolitical ambitions. Millei's forceful yet structured discourse reinforces his unwavering stance on economics and governance. On the other hand, when we look at speed alongside other SeTi types like Kylian Mbappe, Conor McGregor, and Remy Bonyaski, the same patterns emerge. Their movements are fluid and dynamic, their energy is fully engaged in the moment, and their speech is casual and quick-witted. Like speed, they share the same real-time awareness with a nonchalant yet alert and focused presence that allows them to remain calm but instantly generate excitement and jump into action when an opportunity arises. They don't try to impose structure or control. Instead, they flow effortlessly with whatever is happening, instinctively taking advantage of opportunities as they arise. These are true examples of SeTi in action, and they look nothing like Trump's rigid, authoritative presence. So when we put it all together, the difference between Trump and iShowSpeed is undeniable. Trump is a TeNi, structured, commanding, and systematic. His body language, speech, and behavior reflect a clear orientation towards administrative power, execution, and long-term influence. His main motivation is to dictate the terms, enforce structure, and position himself as the orchestrator of large systems. Speed, on the other hand, is a clear SeTi. Fluid, spontaneous, immersive, and playful. He thrives on real-time engagement, experiencing reality at full intensity. While Trump attempts to build and control systems, Speed throws himself into the action, impacting reality through sheer presence and dynamic energy. So, do you still think Trump is an ESTP? Probably not by now, but let's discuss it in the comments. If you want to learn more about cognitive type or find out your type, check out the links in the description and use the coupon code TRUMP to get 20% of any of your orders. And if you want to see more in-depth breakdowns of common MBTI mistypes, make sure to subscribe and check out our other videos. See you in the next one.